Humans have been trying to colonize the galaxy and communicate with other beings since 1957. Despite technological and scientific advancements, we still haven't seen or heard from other beings. Or maybe it's that their calls haven't been returned yet. Today, I will inform you all about the possible temporal reasoning behind why we haven't seen or heard these other beings in our galaxy. As a physics major, we study space and time, so I will combine this knowledge with research of Enrico Fermi's paradox and NASA archives to inform you about this topic. First, we're going to discuss how humans have been trying to reach out into the galaxy. Then we're going to talk about what advancements need to be implemented in order for our searches to be more successful. Then we're going to talk about how aliens could be trying to communicate with humans. And lastly, we'll talk about how the first three topics end up meaning that we need more time to successfully search and communicate with other beings. Now, let's talk about how humans have been trying to colonize the galaxy. Humans haven't had enough time to reach out or see other civilizations because we weren't here from the beginning of the Milky Way's formation about 14 billion years ago. It is said in a NASA article written over the Drake equation in 2018 that if aliens live only as long as we've been around, which is roughly 10,000 years, then they're all likely already extinct and we won't see them. Another reason why we haven't seen them is because we're human and we don't live forever, so once again, we'll be extinct before other civilizations evolve after us. So in this case, time just isn't allowing us to cross paths with other social civilizations. Another reason why we haven't seen them is because we just started our wave communication in the 1900s. Mostly 1970s is when we started sending out waves on purpose to communicate with other beings. It was said in the same article by Sierra Lenore that it takes double the time any message is sent to get a response. So an example of this is that if we send a message to someplace 20,000 light years away, it'll be 40,000 light years before we actually get a response from them. And this is represented by the variable L in the famous Drake equation. So we know that any length of time is extremely important to this whole factor. So basically, when we send the original message, by the time we get a response, anyone alive back then wouldn't still be around. So once again, time is not allowing us to cross paths with another social civilization. So these are all the efforts that humans have been making to try to communicate and that haven't been so successful. Let's talk about what advancements need to be made in order to become more successful at travel and communication. In an article written by Lenka Otap in 2019 called Colonizing the Galaxy, she talked about two certain type of advancements that we might need to implement in order to be more successful. The first was the use of antimatter, which she described as being the most efficient energy source. But we haven't been able to harness it because we don't have the proper technology or materials to use it safely. Another type of advanced technology she discusses is called digital data transformation, which is sending information to a stationary base already planted somewhere else. She says that the current success is only transporting one atom about 3 meters. And that's not very far, as you can imagine. That's not even enough to get to the moon, less likely another civilization. Keep in mind that humans have been doing some things with advanced technology of our time, and here are the results. In a NASA article called Imagine the Universe in 2019, Alan Schmale says that we launched the Voyager 1 in 1977, so that was about 43 years ago, and it still hasn't even left our solar system. So if we still haven't left our solar system with our most up-to-date technology, then it's going to be really hard to find another civilization. Another thing that we've been trying to work on is Mars, and it is our closest current destination, and we still don't have the proper technology to send human life there. So with all these things in mind, these efforts need to be better integrated in order for us to successfully see other beings. This is the reason why we haven't seen or heard from them. Another thing that we can discuss is how aliens have been trying to communicate with us. We like to think that aliens don't live forever, just like humans don't. So one possible reason is that we have missed them. But another thing that we like to think of is the fact that they're advancing at the same rate as humans. If they're advancing at the same rate, then that means they'd have to have the same technology and the same type of social structure. If they were smarter or more intelligible, then they would have already come to us and we would have seen them, but they haven't. So we assume these things. But in the Quarterly Journal of Astrophysics, written by Michael Hart, he discusses the fact that those types of parameters don't hold true for every society, so we can't just assume that aliens are even trying to search for humans. They might not be looking for us at all, which is another reason why we can't find them, is because they want to stay hidden. These things aren't written as facts, so we just assume that aliens might not want to be bothered, which is another reason why we haven't seen or heard from them. So with these things in mind about other life forms, we know that time is the main component for trying to communicate with other things. We just have to let time run its course. With more time, humans and other life forms could advance their technology, their understanding of their biology, and other type of scientific research, and we would be able to communicate and travel faster and more energy efficient. As time speeds up, we know that mass also speeds up, so you need more energy in order to traverse the galaxy quickly or find other beings more quickly. And we know that according to Linka Otap in the same Colonizing the Galaxy article, she discusses the fact that we can't harness this great energy. So knowing that both humans and aliens would have to be advancing at the same rate, we can see how letting time run its course is the only way that we'll be able to meet up with other beings. The temporal aspect of space travel is very important. If we do it in a timely manner, we'll be able to see other people. It's not that there aren't other life forms in the galaxy, it's just that they haven't found us and we haven't found them. Over time, with the advancements of technology and science, we'll be able to see other things and other people. Maybe someday in the near future, we'll hear back from the other aliens that have been trying to call out to us, or they'll return our calls.